Right, so I wanted to talk today about a couple of theoretical projects that I did at the AA, what I did after I left, and
Can you speak up, please?
yeah, and what I'm doing now. So I first went to Haiti in 2011, and it became very clear that there was both a lack of governmental and physical infrastructure. And this was basically because of the way the city, Port-au-Prince, developed in an unregulated fashion during Depression. And there was a real lack of public space as well. And after the earthquake, all the public space was filled with IDP camps. So the government and NGOs alone couldn't provide solutions at the time to the problems of water and sanitation. And there were actually some pretty bad judgment calls because of a lack of infrastructure. So this is cholera treatment clinic waste being dumped directly above the main source of water for Port-au-Prince. And basically, for the first time, the WASH NGO cluster and the government started to work together. To take advantage of that, I proposed a government-managed, NGO-built network of sanitation hubs, which provided water and sanitation management on site, and earthquake safe zones. So the rural to urban hub distribution promotes reforestation and self-sufficiency in rural areas. And also the urban hubs provide earthquake safe zones and a layer of public realm. All hubs are connected and they flood sacrificially during hurricane season. So the hub design was informed by both water purification methods, low-tech and gravity-led water purification, and the fact that cholera was devastating because it wasn't domestic. So it was about education and hygiene, and using precedents like the Roman baths to try and instill a sort of choreography of cleanliness. And I wanted to try and do that by incorporating symbology present in local metalwork. So one potential answer came from recycling aluminium. The US are the largest donators of aid to Haiti, and yet they throw away enough aluminium every year to rebuild their commercial air fleet. So I was trying to see if it was possible to use some of this aluminium to recycle it and create components of the building. So I tried to do that by designing and making a imagined complex component within the building. And through the process of making it, I went through the training process that I wanted people on the ground who would be manufacturing these components to go through. And also it allowed me to test the manufacturing capabilities that were available at the time. And what I learned was that great complexity could be achieved through very few processes. And so all the components are created out of articulation of tube and sheet material. And they're the moments of interaction between the user and the hub which promote this hygienic route through the building. And next is the urban hub, basically in context in downtown Port-au-Prince, trying to enhance its surroundings and providing this public realm as well as water and sanitation. So after this, I graduated and went into the real world, and that was hugely disappointing. So relief came in the form of an Article 25 research design competition, looking for designs for a national palace, which had collapsed in the earthquake. And I decided mainly to concentrate on the IDP camps around the national palace. So it wasn't really the magnitude of the earthquake that killed people in 2010. It was bad building practice, which was due to a lack of building regulation, no central record of land ownership, and 80% unemployment. So I wanted to try and propose a mechanism which would allow people to own their own land and hence build better. So people who are much cleverer than I am have basically said private investment is the way to solve Haiti's problems. And I agree to a point, but I think it needs to be regulated in such a way that allows people to earn land through sweat equity. And the government needs to regulate this, rather than it just being free trade zones where it's not regulated. So people build incrementally in these situations as well. And I think it's important not to provide finished shelters like T-shelters as were provided, but now to donate skills where people can learn how to build an earthquake and hurricane-proof home by themselves. and incrementally improve it as and when they have the means. And that's to allow them to be able to use that asset on their own land as collateral to take them away from aid dependency by getting access to education, technology, food, or healthcare, whatever that might be. So I lost that competition, and now, what am I doing now? I'm teaching an AA visiting school once a year, which was set up by my colleague, John Naylor, and we're trying to promote the use of bamboo as a sustainable industry out in Haiti. And there's a very compelling argument for that, considering the country is 98% deforested, and there's a lot of soil erosion, which causes flooding every year. And Haiti could have a monopoly on construction-grade bamboo, because bamboo that's built on a gradient is much stronger than bamboo which grows on the flat, and 65% of the country is mountainous. So we took a bunch of local students, international students, local working architects, and subjected them to a design workshop, an intense design workshop, where they mapped the site, they took the data, created a proposal that was tested using open source environmental modeling software, so to test against hurricanes, level winds and so on, and then they improved that and put it back on site. And these are some of the proposals that were produced after an 11-day workshop. So we want to carry on working with the Wind Foundation, who are working with out there, and hopefully try and build something in the future to try and promote the use of bamboo in Haiti. That's it. Thanks.